Hello, everyone. I am Lynn, Dream Girl Writer, coming to you today to talk to you about bringing the nine senses of joy into your life. And these nine senses of joy I wrote down a long time ago after a walk into nature, and just considering how my sensibilities could be heightened if I were able to keep a kind of the highest perspective on them. And what I came up with was ways to see with clarity, hear with kindness, speak with truth, touch with gentleness, move with purpose, be with presence, remember with forgiveness, choose with love, and project with peace. And those are very lofty ideals that I'm sure it would be very joyful for us to live a life where we felt like those actions were always attached to that sort of awareness. And so I just like to offer you some practical tips to maybe bring this into your life in small ways, a little bit at a time, with simplicity and practicality. And one of the ways that I felt would be best to present this to you was to kind of, first of all, divide our lives up, if you will, up into four main quadrants. One is nature, how, when, where we interact with her, and what Mother Nature means to us, and what our relationship is with nature. Another one is people, to have awareness of the relationships in our lives that need work, and to how we can possibly heal them, how we can have a better relationship with ourselves and do more self-care, and so forth. And, all the way from ourselves out to a community and a world relationship with people. And then the third one is a creative process. How do we get creative? And a lot of people will, when you say the word creative, they immediately go to, oh, I'm not an artist. I've never been able to sing or play music. Or creativity is born of the soul in every way imaginable. Creativity is how you hold a crying child, how you comfort a crying child. That can be a very creative endeavor. And so what I'm speaking of when I say the arena of creativity is to just come from a space of grace and peace and relaxation and a heart space with everything that you do, the most you can. So think of creativity as being how how creatively you can bring together and merge your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. And then the final quadrant that I want to talk about is rituals. We have far fewer rituals in our lives than we ever did before. And if we do have rituals, they're really not rituals, they're habits. And a lot of people consider, well, I get up and have my coffee in the morning. Well, that's a habit. Unless when you get up and have your coffee, you devote amount of that time to musing or contemplation or praying or connecting with nature or being with a loved one or sitting in silence and breathing or meditating. So, in other words, rituals are what we do where we're inviting our soul to have a place in our waking life. And I do dream work and have spent many years unpacking the messages of my dreams and learning about um, the healing nature of our dreams, how they can heal our relationships and how they can transform our waking lives. But that's a way in the same way that prayer is a way in. I mean, dreams are just a way in to our soul speaking to us, to our soul's voice. And we can get in that way just by sitting, looking out the window, gazing at a beautiful tree. And so, in terms of a ritual, that is something that you do on a regular basis. And, it could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be monthly, it could be, seasonal, to get in touch with nature's rhythms and to do rituals in each season and each cycle of the moon. All of those things, to even just have a bath at night and with scents and bubbles and candles. Those kinds of rituals are very simple, and yet they provide us with a lot of openings, a lot of ways in which our relaxed state can invite in wisdom from our souls. And so, in each of these four quadrants, nature, people, creativity, and rituals, start a little practice for yourself, um, where you think about, what is my relationship with nature? And how, in these nine senses of joy, seeing, hearing, speaking, touching, moving, being, choosing, projecting, in those senses, where in nature can I improve upon that? Can I bring more joy into my life, more awareness into my life, both of who I am and my place in the world? And then in with people, where in my relationships, what relationship do I have that requires the most work? It, is it, and I'm talking about work in terms of healing, in terms of bettering the relationship, in terms of more affinity, more synergy. So take a look at your relationship arena and think about how you can see it better, feel it better, hear it better, speak it better. Go through the nine senses of joy and in the people quadrant. And then take your attention to the ritual quadrant, where in that quadrant of your life, that arena of your life, can you improve upon the joy that comes from it or that you give to it? And then again, with creativity, where is it in your life that you really need to be more creative in order to be more relaxed, more restful, more open, more inviting? How can you, and art certainly is a way in. All kinds of arts or crafts, working with your hands is such an enormous avenue for awareness, especially bodily awareness as well as spiritual awareness. So, my invitation to you is to just kind of use this skeleton, the four arenas or quadrants of your life, and the nine senses of joy, and how they can fit or how they can be maybe uplifted in each of those arenas. And just start making the changes. And maybe you only do one little thing a week. Like, for instance, if you do get up with your coffee and you're busy, you're distracted either reading a newspaper or, you're drinking your coffee on the run, on the way to work, in the car, while you got the radio on, make the change where when you have your coffee or your tea or your morning ritual right after you arise, put one of those nine senses of joy into that and make it so you both be making it a restful place for you and a rejuvenating place for you, as well as making it a new ritual. And if you just do one or two of those a week, or however much you can fit it in, you'll be amazed at how your life starts to automatically, your soul is dying to get to you. It has been living to get to you all these years, to bring you to this awareness of how beautiful you are and how powerful you are. So once you start this process, your beautiful spirit is going to be saying, okay, yeah, that's great. Here's another way. Here's another way. You're going to have opened a door to so many more opportunities to uplift your spirit, to embody your sensibilities in a new way, in an aware and awake way. And if you do work with your dreams, then making these changes in your waking life will also bring more awareness of the dream message, and it will come to you better and maybe even more embodied, and it will give you practical solutions and answers and awareness about your relationships with nature, with people, and give you an awareness of what more rituals you need in your life, as well as your creative process. So I hope this has been helpful. Really, my whole purpose in doing any of the work that I do, either on a personal level or professional level, is to bring people to a kinder and gentler life, to an awareness that we can have a kinder and gentler life. It's as if these days, sometimes we are making war on ourselves and the world is making war with itself. And there is a way out of there. And it's one little change at a time. It's one person at a time. It's one village at a time. But you do make a difference. Every time you take the time to think of yourself, to think with your heart in a better way, to treat yourself to care, to treating your loved ones to care, to thinking about the highest ideal that you wish for yourself and your loved ones. Every time you do that, all of us benefit. We're all in this together. And before I leave you, I want to read you, I made a cup of tea right before I started this video, and I love it. I live in Lexington, South Carolina at present, and it's just getting to be cool weather right now, and I love that I can have tea. And this little tea bag, this is the Yogi tea series, and the tag on the bag says, "The world needs your unique gifts. Don't leave with them inside of you." So I leave you with that, my loves. Wish you sweet dreams and a kinder and gentler life. Thank you for listening.